Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day to all. Today we are going to learn topic 10, chapter 10, transport in human and animal. In this video, we will focus on subtopic 10.1, types of circulatory system. After this class, I hope all students can justify the necessity of transport system in complex multicellular organisms, can identify substances that are transported by the transport system, can conceptualize types of circulatory system in complex multicellular organism, and you all can compare and contrast circulatory system in complex multicellular organism. Okay, class? Type of circulatory system. Okay. Let's look at the necessity for transport system in complex multicellular organism. Okay, class, each living cell requires essential substances such as oxygen, nutrient, and they have to expel cellular waste products such as carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste. In chapter 2, you learn how unicellular organisms such as amoeba get their essential and expel waste by diffusion from and to its external surrounding. Unicellular organisms, as you know, have a small body mass. Therefore, the total surface area to volume ratio TSA over V of the organism is large. As such, amoeba species does not require a specialized transport system to transport substances in and out of the cell. Okay, class? You have to remember that unicellular organisms have a small body, so TSA over V is large. Okay? So that amoeba does not require a specialized transport system to transport substances in and out of the cell. Okay? Okay. How about multicellular organism? Okay, can multicellular organism obtain all essential substances such as oxygen, nutrient, and expel waste by simple diffusions like unicellular organism? Okay, so for you to know, substances exchange cannot occur by diffusion in multicellular organism because the cells are too far away from the environment. Okay, they are epidermis, act as a barrier. Okay, so external environment is far away from the cell, so that multicellular organism cannot obtain all essential substances by using diffusion process only. Okay, I hope that you understand that. Okay, to address this problem, multicellular organism have an internal transportation system. They need to have an internal transportation system to get all essential substances and to expel waste, right? In vertebrates, the transportation system is called blood circulatory system. Okay? Blood circulatory system. Alright, so before studying further the blood circulatory system, conduct an experiment to study the effect of changes in TSA over V on the diffusion rate. So, in this video, we learn by theory first, and then after this we are going to carry experiment. Okay, class. So let us learn about the type of circulatory system in multicellular organism. There are two types of circulatory system in multicellular organism. Okay, open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. Alright, let us look at open circulatory system. In open circulatory system class, hemolymph will flows directly into the body cavity known as hemocell and bath the cell. Okay, what is hemolymph? Hemolymph is a blood-like nutritious liquid found in the most invertebrates such as insect and mollusks. Okay, so look at this diagram. Okay, in open circulatory system, what happened to the hemolymph? Hemolymph will flow directly into the body cavity. Flow directly into the body cavity, known as hemocell. Okay, so everybody should remember that hemocell is a blood-like nutritious liquid. Okay, right? Okay, blood-like nutritious liquid. Okay, hemocell does not flow in blood vessel. Okay, it's flow directly into the body cavity. Okay, can you follow? Okay, next. Look at closed circulatory system. Okay, in closed circulatory system, blood is always contained in a continuous closed blood vessel and is distributed to the whole body. Okay, blood is always contained in a continuous closed blood vessel class and distributed to the whole body. Always flow in a continuous close. Okay, the exchange of substances that are essential to cells such as oxygen and nutrient occur across the wall of blood capillary. Okay, exchange of essential nutrient occur across the wall of blood capillary. Okay, as you know, blood carry oxygen, and then oxygen from the blood in a high concentration will diffuse out into the body cell, and then body cell use that oxygen and then expel out carbon dioxide. So exchange of essential and non-essential substances happen there. Okay, right? So next, look at circulatory system in insect, fish, amphibians and human. Okay, what is the differences in between of circulatory system in insect, fish, amphibian and human? Okay, first, insect. Okay, insect have open circulatory system class. Why? Because blood do not located inside the vessel. Okay, blood do not located inside the vessel. Okay, look at the process. Okay, heart pump the hemolymph through the aorta into the hemocell. Right? Look at here. Blood atau heart pump the hemolymph through the aorta into the hemocell. Okay, hemolymph flow from the heart into the hemocell when the heart contract. Okay, hemolymph inside the heart will push forward when the heart is contract, and the hemolymph will move ataupun will flow from the heart into the hemocell. Okay, so what happened in the hemocell? Chemical exchange between the hemolymph and the body cell take place in hemocell. Okay. When the heart relaxes, the hemolymph re-enter the heart at the opening pores called ostium. When the heart relaxes, so what happened to the hemolymph? It will re-enter the heart back by or through the opening pores called ostium. Okay. Can you follow? Inside, okay, hemolymph in the heart will be pushed forward when the heart is contract, and then what happened to the hemolymph? Hemolymph will accumulate in the hemocell. What happened in the hemocell? Exchange or chemical exchange happen between hemolymph and the body cell, right? And then after that, when the hearts relax, what happen next? Hemocell re-enter back the heart through opening pores called ostium. Okay, let us simplify that process. Heart pump the hemolymph, and then hemolymph flow through the aorta and enter the hemocell. Okay, inside the hemocell, what happened? Chemical exchange occur between hemolymph and body cell. And then when the heart relax, hemolymph re-enter heart via ostia or ostium. Okay, I hope you can follow this part. Okay, next. How about fish? Fish have single closed circulatory system. Okay, for fish, blood flow through the heart only once for each complete circuit of the blood. Blood flow through the heart only once for each complete circuit of the blood. Okay, look at the process. Deoxygenated blood enter atrium. Okay, deoxygenated blood, okay, enter the atrium and then enter the ventricle. Okay, ventricle pump the blood to the capillary in the gills, where gases exchange occur between the blood and the water. From the gills, oxygenated blood flows to the body cells, and in the systemic capillary, oxygen diffuse into the tissue, and then carbon dioxide diffuse out of the tissue and into the capillary, so that oxygenated blood will turn into deoxygenated blood, and then deoxygenated blood will flow back into the atrium and then to the ventricle and then to the gills capillary. Okay, so we can conclude that blood flows through the hearts only once for each complete circuits of the blood. Okay, from atrium to the ventricle to the gill capillary, exchange of gases happen here in between of blood and the water, and then oxygenated blood will flow to the systemic capillary. What happened in the systemic capillary? Exchange of gases, okay, from the oxygen from the capillary to flow to the tissue, and then carbon dioxide from the tissue flow ataupun diffuse into the capillaries, and then deoxygenated blood flow back into the atrium. Okay, one complete circuit. Alright, so let us simplify this process. Deoxygenated blood enter the heart. Okay, from atrium, and then flow to the ventricle, and then enter gills. In the gill, gases exchange occur between blood and water. Okay, and then oxygenated blood flow to the systemic capillary. Okay, exchange of gases happen in between of blood capillary and body cell. Okay, look at here, in capillary, exchange occur between blood and body cell, so that oxygenated blood turns to deoxygenated blood. One complete circuit. Okay, next, look at amphibians. Okay, blood circulatory system for amphibian is double closed circulatory system. Incomplete double closed circulatory system. Why incomplete? Okay, let's look here. Okay, for amphibian, their heart consists only 3 chambers, 2 atria and 1 ventricle. Their ventricle are not separated by a systern. Okay, ventricle are not separated by systern. Blood flows into 2 directions, pulmocutaneous circulation and systemic circulation. Okay, blood flows in amphibian in 2 directions. Okay, they move through pulmocutaneous circulation and through systemic circulation. Okay, look at the process. Deoxygenated blood from the body carried into the right atrium. Deoxygenated blood from the body carried into the right atrium. And then, at the same time, oxygenated blood from the lung. Oxygenated blood from the lung and skin is transported by the pulmonary vein to the left atrium. So, what happened in ventricle? Oxygen blood is mixed with deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood remains on the right side of ventricle. Okay, deoxygenated blood will remain on the right side of ventricle. Most of the oxygenated blood remains in the left side of the ventricle. So, most of the deoxygenated blood will remain in the left ventricle. Okay. Blood contains lower level of oxygen, but it is sufficient to meet the cellular requirement of amphibian. Okay. Then ventricle pump blood through a pulmonary circulation system and systemic circulation. Then ventricle pump blood through a pulmocutaneous pulmocutaneous circulation system and systemic circulation system. Okay? Alright. Let us look at here. Okay, look at the diagram. Okay, deoxygenated blood. Okay, deoxygenated blood flow from the body cell to the right atrium and then enter right ventricle. At the same time, okay class, at the same time, oxygenated blood from the lung and the skin will enter left atrium and enter left ventricle. Here, okay, mixed blood occur because there are no septum. Okay, but most deoxygenated blood will remain in the right atrium and most oxygenated blood will remain in the left atrium. When the blood mix, blood will contain lower level of oxygen, but don't worry, it's still sufficient to meet the cellular requirement of amphibian. Okay? I hope that you can understand this part. Okay, next. Let us simplify this process. Deoxygenated blood from the body enter right atrium. Oxygenated blood from the lung and skin enter left atrium. And then deoxygenated and oxygenated blood mix together in the ventricle, and then ventricle will pump blood through systemic circulation system and pulmocutaneous circulation system. Okay. So, human circulatory system is complete double closed circulatory system. Human circulatory system consists of 4 chamber class. They are 2 atrium and 2 ventricle. 4 chamber heart prevent the mixings of the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. That's why we call it as complete double closed circulatory system. Okay. In human, they involve 2 systems. They are pulmonary circulatory system and systemic circulatory system. Blood enter the heart twice during one complete cycle. Okay? Look at the process. In pulmonary circulation, deoxygenated blood in the right ventricle is pumped into the pulmonary arteries to the lung. Okay? At the same time, oxygenated blood from the lung returns to the left atrium and flows into the left ventricle. While in systemic circulation, blood is pumped from the heart to all parts of the body tissue through the aorta. Then the oxygenated blood returns to the right atrium through vena cava. Okay? Let's simplify the process in pulmonary circulation and in systemic circulation. Okay, what happened in pulmonary circulation system? Deoxygenated blood in the right atrium. Okay, please imagine the right atrium. Okay, deoxygenated blood in the right atrium will be pumped to the lung. And then, oxygenated blood will enter the left atrium. In systemic circulation, oxygenated blood in the left atrium will enter other parts of the body except lung. And deoxygenated blood will enter right atrium. Okay? Okay, this is the process happen in human. Okay. Look at the comparison between the circulatory system in fish, amphibian, and human. Okay. When we talk about comparison, there must be similarities and differences. So the similarities between the fish, amphibian and human. The circulatory system is found in all multicellular organisms. Circulatory system consists of a heart to pump blood or hemolymph. Circulatory system function to transport nutrient and waste, and the heart has valve that ensure blood flow in one direction. And then for the differences, okay, type of circulatory system. For insect, open blood circulatory system because the blood is not in the blood vessel. Fish, closed blood circulatory system. Amphibian, closed blood circulatory system. Human, closed blood circulatory system because the blood flow in the blood vessel. Okay, number of circulation. Insect flow directly to the cavity, so there is no circulation. For fish, single. Why? Because blood flow in the blood vessel and through the heart once in a complete circulation. How about amphibian? Amphibian, number of circulation double. Why? Because blood flow in the blood vessel and through the heart in one complete circulation. Same goes to the human, number of circulation double. Why? Because blood flow in the blood vessel and through the heart twice in one complete circulation. Okay. So how about number of heart cavity? Okay. For insect, the heart is made up of many cavity segments. For fish, there are only 2 heart cavities, 1 atrium and 1 ventricle. For amphibian, there are 3, 2 atria and 1 ventricle. Their ventricle not separated by septum. And for human, there are 4 chamber or 4 heart cavity, 2 atria and 2 ventricle. Okay. For the last, separations of oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. In insect, no separation. In fish, no separation. In amphibian, incomplete. Some oxygenated blood is mixed with the deoxygenated blood in the ventricle. Why? Because in the ventricle, there are no septum. So, for human, complete separation of oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. Okay. Oxygenated blood does not mix with the deoxygenated blood in the ventricle because they are septum in between of left ventricle and right ventricle. Okay, class, that's all for today's. Before we close the topic today, I hope that you can do formative practice, page 172. Alright, class, that's all for today. Thank you very much.